Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today, I wanted to talk about the idea that we're kind of like in a weird like killer renaissance when it comes to killer perks that are effective, and at the same time, we're also in kind of like a dark age when it comes to survivor perks. And I want to get into that and how I wish things were different with that and how things are, great with this situation. So first off, with like the killer situation, we have a lot of like great perks right now. Like we have Dead Man's recently got its buff. Pentamento's fun. Pain Resonance is super fun. Deadlock, super great. Even Plaything is like really fun and unique. Essentially, we're in a situation where like there's a lot of new perks in the block that are strong without being broken. Now, the asterisk there is on that is that Dead Man's and Pain Resonance together is really overpowered on characters like Doctor and Artist specifically. It has very too much synergy with their powers. So I hope they find a way to handle that without necessarily attacking the perks themselves, because I think the perks themselves are very healthy and great for the game, because especially with like Pain Resonance, hooking somebody on a Scourge Hook, especially in like the boil over meta, like hooking somebody on a Scourge Hook is kind of a risk, and they don't always spawn it very efficiently for you. They can spawn really far away, especially on 2 forward maps that can get really cockamamie real quick. But like the situation is like with that makes it so great is that you hook somebody and then somebody may scream on a gen far away, which has counterplay in the sense that you can get off the gen unless they're also running Dead Man's, and then that gets kind of crazy. But then you have info on like where somebody is, and it's not as powerful as Pop, it's not as powerful as Ruin, but essentially you get a passive damage to the gen, and then you get to enter chase. And that's also what's great about Deadlock from Pinhead, is that it kind of just goes off throughout the match. It's kind of like Corrupt Intervention, except staggered throughout the match instead of just for a very long time at the beginning, which allows you to stay on more chases. And what I'm realizing, especially with like Dead Man's, which, you see them get off the gen and you get the visual indicator of the enemy's mandibles going over the gens, is a lot of the slowdown that has been coming out in the game has been focusing on chase, like getting you back into the game and getting you back into the chase. It's giving you a lot of info on where survivors are, so you can constantly be being get back in the chase, get back in the chase, get back in the chase. And that's what this game has needed sorely for such a long time, is it's needed perks that encourage chase, not diffusing chase. And a lot of killer perks that are super meta, like Pop and Ruin, really discourage chase. It's just all about, gen defense and gen defense and gen defense. But like before, if you wanted to run like a chase encouragement perk or whatever, like Enduring Spirit Fury, that has nothing to do with like defending the gens at all, like literally at all. So you were essentially picking between chase perk and gen defense perk. Like you couldn't have that all-in-one perk. And essentially you were giving up your ability to defend the gens, which is unfortunately the objective in this game, just so you could have more fun chase perks. So you're basically choosing between fun and like gen babysitting, which was like pretty rough. But that's why I like all these new perks, is because they're emphasizing the chase, which is the fun part of the game, while also allowing you to do better in the game. They're very strong like A tier perks that aren't S tier. Like Pop and Ruin. They're very strong A tier perks, and I've been seeing more killers when I'm playing Survivor running these over Pop, over Ruin, and I really appreciate that. It's just nice that like more chases seem to be happening in the game and not as much gen defense. The dark side of this is that like, besides like what I mentioned with like Artist and Doctor, like having like way too much synergy with these perks, is that on the Survivor side, this is still not a thing. Right, like I would love for this to be what Survivors eventually end up having as well. Survivors, it's still Dead Hard, Decisive Strike, Unbreakable, Iron Will, Adrenaline. It's like they've been running with like the same meta crap for like so long, like so long. So it's boring for the killers to face, and it's boring for the survivors to play with, that the meta has essentially been the same for a long time. Jonah's stuff came out, didn't really change anything. Michaela's stuff gave us one meta perk, and it's kind of problematic. It's kind of just another S tier perk. It's not like an A tier perk that's just nice. And it's like, at what point do the survivors actually get perks that are like nice A tier perks, but aren't super crazy broken S tier perks. For some reason on the Survivor side of things, at least when it comes to their perk design, they seem to be in the situation where they don't know how to release a perk that they release perks that are either like B tier or down or S tier, and there's no A tier like to their perks. Like, and it's really, really weird. Like I think the closest it would get would be like Kindred maybe, but you can just undo that with like Discord, right? But like, there's not really a strong A tier for like survivors to work with, and that's boring for both sides to deal with. I wish survivors had something like a Dead Man's, like a Pain Resonance, or something that allowed them to encourage more chases without outright just like winning at gens, winning at chases, that sort of thing. Like, and I hate that. I hate that so much. Like, it's just like we're moving closer towards like, hey, we're not just going to only put out like super omega slowdown perks. We're gonna like kind of mix the two, mix chase perks and info perks and slowdown perks. We're just gonna kind of like take a little bit of each and spice it up together. And I wish there was more of that on the Survivor side. That way we can finally start looking at things like, you know, like Pop, Ruin, Undying, and then like Dead Hard DS, and like really start like discouraging the stale meta that's been in this game for so freaking long, because we're starting to build that strong A tier foundation. At least on the killer side they've started, and I really want to see where that ends up. And I really hope that they do something on the Survivor side of things where they're like, here are your A tier perks. That way we start seeing more perk variety, both playing against the Survivor community. And I think that would do everyone in this game would benefit greatly from that situation. Yeah, that's it for this commentary video today. Hopefully you enjoyed the little talk that we had. If you liked the video, make sure you do the like. And if you want to sub-a-roni to see more of my daily videos, please do that. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And if I don't, I'll see you when I see you, friends. Bye-bye.